What's up everybody, it's Matt from Peter Glenn, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get an old stomp pad off of your board so you can stick a fresh one on there. Let's check this out. Okay, we got an old stomp pad on there, or if you're like me, you were stupid and didn't follow your own rules for putting one on and you lost one. So I've got a single stomp pad on here that I want to take off so I can put a fresh new set on here. But the one thing about these things is sometimes they don't come off that easily. So obviously the first thing you can do is just kind of grab this thing and see if you can peel it off easy. Sometimes, depending on the adhesive, depending on the company, what it's made out of or how it went on, sometimes it will peel off easily, but this crab grab one is stuck on there real well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a little bit of heat. So obviously if you got a heat gun, that works amazing, but not everybody has one of those. So what most people do have in their household is a hair dryer, and if you don't have one, it's probably pretty easy to get a hold of one. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna wanna warm this thing up. So you're gonna take your hair dryer, I always set it at the hottest setting possible, and go ahead and heat this thing up. We want to set this thing on the hottest setting so we can get it nice and warm. And the one thing that we're going to want to do is we're actually going to want to make sure that we keep the hair dryer moving, and we don't want to get it too close. These hair dryers can actually get pretty hot, and definitely when it's here versus here, it's much hotter when it's up close. So we don't want to run the risk of either melting the stomp pad, or we won't want to run the risk of damaging your board. Too much heat in one spot all at once can actually delaminate your board. So again, get it pretty close, but don't get it too close, and we definitely want to keep this thing moving. And while you're doing this thing, check it every once in a while. Just kind of feel the stomp pad, make sure that it feels warm, but it doesn't feel crazy hot. And looks like we're going to keep going on this one a little bit more. Pretty warm. And another thing you can do while you're heating it up is you can kind of push on it a little bit. Just be careful not to burn your fingers. Maybe move it to the other side of the stomp pad and give a little push on it and see if it's peeling up. And you can kind of test it to see if it's warm enough to peel off. All right, looks like this one is actually starting to peel a little bit. So once we got that thing warmed up, you basically just kind of push it and peel it right off. So sometimes these things will actually leave a little bit of residue on the board afterwards. And what you can do is get a little bit of an adhesive remover, or I also like to use base cleaner. It's a citrus cleaner, and it definitely helps dissolve some of that adhesive. And it's pretty easy to do. And depending on how much there is on there, sometimes you can use a little bit of a razor blade as well. Kind of put some of the adhesive remover on there, put some of that cleaner on there, and then you can use that razor blade at a real heavy angle to scrape that extra stuff off. But a little bit of, again, the adhesive remover, wipe this thing down. As you can see, it is a pretty easy process to do. You just want to make sure that you've got that thing wiped down nice and good. You don't want any extra residue on there where the gunk can get stuck in. Another thing that you can do too is take another rag and just dry this thing out with a dry paper towel, just to make sure that there's no extra adhesive remover or that base cleaner on there. Because when you go to stick your new stomp pad on, you're not going to want any of that eating up the adhesive that you just stuck on. But nice and easy, and you can see it's very clean and pretty much ready for a new stomp pad. But again, can't hurt to let it sit for a little bit just to make sure that all that adhesive remover or that base cleaner, whatever you use to clean it, make sure that's evaporated out of the top sheet. But if you got any questions beyond what we talked about in the video, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we can get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure that you can repair and replace those things as needed as well. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And grab yourself a new stomp pad, get the old one off, get the new one on, and get out and ride. Because any day of riding is a good day of riding.